Have you ever just wanted to get away, needed some space? Maybe family and friends are stressing you out. Well, then I'm excited to talk to you about a boy who did just that. In the book, My Side of the Mountain, is about a boy who decides to go live in the wilderness and learns how to survive on his own. And he does this for almost a full year, from May until April. And the crazy thing is, he's only 13 years old. And the wilderness that he goes and lives in is in the Catskills Mountains. And this is located in upstate New York. That's way up north. The wintertime there is cold. And this book is so full of adventure and courage, and I know you'll just be amazed at how Sam figures out how to live off the land. He is so clever. So now I'm going to read a few pages out of the book just to see what you think. I am on my mountain in a tree home that people have passed without ever knowing that I'm here. The house is a hemlock tree, 6 feet in diameter. It must be as old as the mountain itself. I came upon it last summer and dug and burned it out until I made a snug cave in the tree that I now call home. My bed is on the right as you enter and is made of ash slats and covered with deerskin. On the left is a small fireplace about knee high. It is of clay and stones. It has a chimney that leads the smoke out through a knothole. I chipped out 3 other knotholes to let fresh air in. The air coming in is bitter cold. It must be below zero outside, and yet I can sit here inside my tree and write with bare hands. The fire is small too, but it doesn't take much to warm up my tree room. Okay, and here's another one. And this is how his adventure started. I left New York in May. I had a penknife, a ball of cord, an axe, and $40, which I had saved from selling magazine subscriptions. I also have some flint and steel, which I had bought at a Chinese store in the city. The man in the store had shown me how to use it. He also given me a little purse to put it in and some tinder to catch the sparks. He had told me that if I ran out of tinder, I should burn cloth and use the charred ashes. I thanked him and said, "This is the kind of thing I'm not going to forget." Okay, and one last one. It wasn't hard to find a pretty spot along that stream. I selected a place beside a mossy rock in a circle of hemlocks. I decided to make a bed before I cooked. I cut off some boughs for a mattress. Boughs are like a tree branch. Then I leaned some dead limbs against the boulder and covered them with hemlock limbs. This made a kind of a tent. I crawled in, lay down, and felt alone, in secret, and very excited. But the rest of the story. I was on the northeast side of the mountain. It grew dark and cold early. Seeing the shadows slide down on me, I frantically ran around gathering firewood. This is about the only thing I did right from the moment until dawn, because I remembered that the driest wood in a forest is the dead limbs that are still on the trees. And I gathered an enormous pile of them. That pile must still be there, for I never got a fire going. I got sparks, sparks, sparks. I even hit the tinder with the sparks. The tinder burned all right, and that was as far as I got. I blew on it, I breathed on it, I kept it in my hands, but no sooner did I add twigs than the whole thing went black. Then it got too dark to see. I clicked steel and flint together, even though I couldn't see the tinder. Finally, I gave up, crawled into my hemlock tent, hungry, cold, and miserable. Another thing great about this book is you can see some pictures that he has drawn throughout the book describing what he has built or what he has seen. And so I think that is also really neat. And so I'm so excited for you to read this book and just to see how Sam figures out how to survive on his own. There's also a movie about this book that you should watch after you read it. The author, Jean Craighead George, has written several other books that would be great follow-up to this book. So let me know what you think, and happy reading. For this class activity, I'll have the class research about the Catskill Mountains. Then I'll have the students write a short story about what they would take if they could only take 5 items from their home, and how they would survive in the wilderness and how long they think they will last.